Alright, y'all, already know what it is. Potato farmers up in this Jose. We all going out, yo, from educational. We invented the word potato farmers on the mic.
Immigration, it's a thing, but refugees do different things.
What differences are y'all talking about?
Well, you know, it's about how they get out. Immigrants, they got to be a little well off in the home country. They come into Canada, but don't act a fool. They gotta make sure they aren't refused, but choose, or else they lose. No getting through, they gotta contribute to Canada's economy with their skills, or else they ain't gonna get their fill. But refugees, their lives are whack. They gotta prove that they're being attacked. They gotta show that they got a thug life, cause someone might try to use a knife and stab them in the night. So they come into Canada for the human rights. They don't need no fancy education, cause this is about fun-jucation. Something else that you might not know, Canada wasn't always a bro. The French came first, way back when, but they lost the war. And then, they had the land that needed to be given, so Canada became a part of England. The English people, where they're given rules to the French, who were there living. The French had no problem, so lots of English speakers came down from America after the pain of losing the war. They made their game in Canada, where it all changed. English now outnumbered the French, so they started to lose what they had then. Later in the future, there were big problems. A crisis in October, it was solemn. 2 major people were taken by this thing called the French Liberation. One was let go when the other was dead. It started to make francophones use their head on trying to make Quebec its own pad, become its own country. That would be rad. That's not all Canada has done. Something even worse in this past is not fun. The first ones in Canada, the First Nations people, their culture was strong, anything but feeble, but it became that when the whites came in, trying to take the people and turn them in to people that we thought was the best. It was a very Eurocentric test of how to be the very best, like no one ever was, unlike the rest. We committed a horrible tragedy on their people, tried to make their culture look so feeble, took their rights, abused them at school that we thought were just so cool. It was wrong, so we try to make it right, but it doesn't solve everything from those nights. Sadness goes along through generations and cause many people that are First Nations become addicted to bad stuff that is whack. So now we will never ever go back. Louis Riel was a cool guy, he always tried to ensure rights. That's a definition that we need to learn. Now let's fill this course with some cool words.
Potato.
Yeah.
Potato.
Yeah. Potato. First things first, let's talk about the government. There are 3 levels, let me give you a hint. The first one is called municipal, deals with cities and towns and their people. Next up there's provincial, they deal with provinces, make sure they have their human services. After that, federal deals with the country, they make sure we got some good industry. After that, federal deals with the country, they make sure we got some good industry. We need 3 levels cause one's not enough. Doing it alone would be pretty rough. Now let's talk about moolah and pills. No, wait, not money, those parliamentary bills. First reading is when it's created. Someone reads it out so it's not cremated. If it gets past that, there's a second reading to make sure it's ready for completing. There's a committee stage to look at the bill carefully to make sure it's not made carelessly. Report stage is where the committee reports. Then the masturbators talk to make changes or support. Then there needs to be a third reading of it. It's again master debated so it fits. The bill needs to do this all again at the Senate. It could take a while if we want to get it. The very last thing is royal assent, so the Governor General has no discontent. Alrighty folks, let's get to the parties. Oh, okay, the political ones. You're smarty. There's this thing called the political spectrum. It's about ideology and the direction, so you know the parties during the election, making sure there's no misconception. Left-wing parties are basically the NDP, where they make people free. They like less government involvement in people's lives, but rather people to choose how they die. It's usually more peaceful, environmentally friendly. War is wrong, and we deal with deadly. The right-wing conservatives cover all the surfaces, protecting the economy like a fast food preservative. They're a little convertative, not even reserved a bit. War is sometimes necessary, there isn't always an alternative. The cabinet ministers are appointed by the big man. Their GG hires them, can kick them to the can. That's the definition that we need to learn. Now let's fill this course with some cool words.
Potato farmers are cool.
Yeah! Civil and criminal are different types of law. You've got to know the differences without a flaw. Investigations in criminal law and blah 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 can send people to jail or kick them in the jaw. Civil law has two people in awe. They have a dispute that ends with no clause. That's basically it. When an adult or a kid goes through trial, there are some differences, there's no denial. A kid has things explained carefully, so they don't say things carelessly. An adult can be tricked more easily, so them getting a lawyer is reasonably. Youth sentences focus more on rehabilitation, trying to get them back into the nation. Adults are seen as having strong affiliations to crime with no chance of reconciliation. Children records aren't passed on. When they're an adult, their records have nothing on. But when you're an adult, that's it, son. Your crimes will never, ever, ever, ever move on. In a criminal case, there are steps you need to know. First, we have investigations and stuff, so when they got enough evidence, they need a warrant for the arrest of their suspect, yo. They interview them and set bail, ho. They set the court appearance when they go to the preliminary hearing, where they can throw out the case. If it's bad, though, they have plea negotiations to try and show the defendant that jail is where they'll go. At the trial, they got to know that the person is guilty of what they've shown. If they're guilty, the judge will go and make the sentence for them. But if it's wrong, though, you can appeal and do another show. The rule of law you need to know without hatred. The rule is that potato farms are sacred. That's the definition that we need to learn. Now let's fill this chorus with some cool words.
Potato.
Yeah!
Potato.
Yeah! Potato!
Oh, I don't care about the other girls. Oh, just be good to me. Ooh, ooh. Oh, it's not the way I see it. They say I'm wasting time with you. You'll never be mine. Oh, everybody's talking about, oh, reputation. Not enough for talking about copulation. Oh, reputation is a part of me. And yeah, that's all I got, yeah.
To the parliament preliminary hearing. To the preliminary.
Mr. Gilmark won't care. He's just an English teacher. Gilmark won't care. He's just an English teacher. Gilmark won't care. He's just an English teacher. Just an English teacher. Just an English teacher. Just an English teacher. Mr. Gilmark won't care. He's just an English teacher. Gilmark won't care. An English teacher. He's just an English teacher.
Faux show.
And yeah, that's all I got, yeah.